So, good evening, everyone. Um, I am Aditya Joshi from Stratview Research. I head the marketing department of Stratview Research India, and I welcome you all to our today's LinkedIn live session on the topic the opportunities in Indian composites industry. And to discuss this topic and give the overview and deep dive into this topic, I have three key speakers from two from Scott Better team and one from Stratview Research. So let me introduce them one by one. So I'll introduce the first speaker from Scott Better team, Mr. Biju Patnaik. Uh, Hi Biju, welcome to the live webinar.
Thank you, Aditya. So
Yeah.
my second name is Krishnankutty, by the way.
Yes,
So Biju Krishnankutty.
Krishnankutty. I'm so sorry. So it's
No,
quite long.
no,
It's quite long, so I skipped it.
no worries. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes. So let me introduce Biju first of all. So Biju has a master's degree in organic chemistry and coating technology from University Department of Chemical Technology, Mumbai University, and he has over 27 years of experience in composite and coating industry, working with multinational organizations such as Asian Paints and now Scott Bader. Biju is currently the regional technical manager for Scott Bader Company Limited, covering the Middle East, Asia, and African region. And he has an extensive experience in providing technical support, new product development, quality assurance, product and project management, and he leads a highly experienced team supporting the composites industry. So Biju has hands-on practical experience working very closely with composites manufacturing companies to improve their operational capabilities and designing tailor-made products meeting various international standards. So thank you, Biju, for joining us.
Thank you.
The next speaker is from Scott Bader again, Miss Anjal Motwani. Hi, Anjal. Welcome to the session. About her introduction, Anjal has a degree in chemical engineering. She is an established expert in composite processes and material science. She started her career in sugar, ethanol, and organic chemical industry, where the focus was material production from sugarcane, a bio-based resource. Anjal then went on to lead the process engineering and R&D teams at BFG International Bahrain for over 20 years, spearheading the development of many challenging projects across many sectors during her tenure. Her hands-on engagement in manufacturing operations of composite processes and material provides her a rich experience. She is currently the senior technical support specialist at Scott Bader India, playing a key role in customer engagement, product customization and localization, technical training and support to help diversify Scott Bader's business in India. So welcome, Anjal, and thanks for joining us. You are on mute, I think, Anjal. So
thank you, Aditya. Happy to be on this forum.
Yeah. So the next speaker is Mr. Deepak Agarawal. He heads the research department of Stratview Research. A brief introduction about Deepak is like he has over 12 years of experience in market research industry, and he has an extensive and excellent experience in composite industry market research, and he has worked with several Fortune 500 companies, be it part fabricator, be it a material manufacturer, a supplier, distributor, etc., in helping them with their critical needs of insights and market research. And he has worked in several projects like market entry strategies, due diligence, then customer voice of customer analysis, market analysis, etc., target screening, etc. So welcome, Deepak. Thanks for being here on the show.
Thank you, Aditya. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. So before I jump into the questions and start moderating the session, let's begin with India. Why India, and why we have chosen the topic that opportunities of for composites in Indian markets. So when we talk about India, what first thing which comes in our mind is obviously its huge population base. We are 1.4 billion Indians residing in the country, and some would say that it's not good for the country's economy, but I would say that it's a huge opportunity for the companies, not only in India but also worldwide. The reason being, India is one of the fastest growing economies, actually the top two economies in the world in terms of the CAGR, growing more than 6% annually. India is at right now standing at a figure of more than $3 trillion of GDP, and it is expected to touch $5 trillion in within next 3-4 years point of time. And right now it's like fifth largest economy in the world, and it is expected that it could soon uh, become the third largest economy after US and China. Why these facts are important for the composites industry? uh, because 1.5 billion people is not just the population figure, it's the number of the consumer base, huge consumer base in which there will be a huge demand for the end product industries. Like recently we have seen huge orders from the airlines in India, Tata and Indigo Airlines, which in total ordered more than 900 aircraft from Boeing and Airbus, totaling more than $120 billion in deal value. Also, recently, a lot of focus has been uh, put by the Indian government in initiatives like Make in India, and the government has an aim of converting India as an export hub, exporting a lot of products from India. A lot of things are being done from in the rail industry as well in the past few years. More than the ICF from India has exported more than 650 coaches to 14 different countries. So why I'm talking about all these industries is that we know that composite materials are being applied in these industries, and hence in the near future, as the Indian country or Indian economy grows, the demand for composite materials, both domestic as well as for the exports, will rise at an impressive rates. Now, jumping over to the questions which will be addressed by the speakers. Now, as we all know that Scott Biju is one of the market leaders in adhesives, composite materials, resins, functional polymers. The first thing which I noticed while I was just surfing through the website of Scott Biju is that it's an employee-owned manufacturer employing more than 800 people across 7 manufacturing units. So my question to Biju is like, this sounds quite interesting. Like, can a company be owned completely by the employees? So this is quite perplexing to me. So can you elaborate on how does this company actually run, Biju?
Sure, Aditya. I mean, I'm really excited by the opening comments about the opportunities in India. So well done to you on that one.
Thank you.
I'm also equally excited to talk about this specific point, So as Scott Biju employee, we are all part of what we call as an employee-owned organization that does business differently. So we were the original champions of now, which is very popular, employee, environment, social and governance, that is EESG, for over 70 years. We have our founder, Ernest Baju, to thank for that. Ernest, who wanted to distribute the capital of the company in a way where all colleagues could have a real voice within the business. And he realized that the best way to ensure this and the well-being of the company was to entrust it to its employees. And hence, Scott Biju Commonwealth was formed. Now, what is the benefit for our partners? That's the most important thing. So what's the benefit for our customers? What is the benefit of our suppliers because of this unique structure? The main benefit is that Scott Biju is here to stay. So we as an organization cannot be bought over or cannot be sold to any other company. Mm-hmm. Thus, we can establish a very long-term relationship with all our partners. The other benefit is that we invest all our profits into, key mergers and acquisition. Our expansion into India is one such example. Also, we continuously upgrade our plant, so the capex investments to upgrade our manufacturing footprint to deliver very high levels of What is very important nowadays, the on-time and in-full deliveries at enhanced quality. We invest a lot in research and development. So that's one area where we are really proud of. We are not a huge organization, but we invest a lot in technology. And most importantly, our investment is in our people and the communities that we live among. So we have unique charitable giving objectives as an organization, wherein part of the profit is given back to the society. So we call it as a business with a conscience. So, but coming back to India, there are plenty of examples of excellent employee ownership companies in India. So our own Amul, the India Coffee House, Workers Women Forum, Larsen & Toubro, which have excelled really collaboratively. So it's a unique concept, but a very successful one.
Wow. So this is quite interesting to know, like such a profits can be earned, keeping in mind such a noble cause as a priority. And I have been quite following the page of Scott Better on LinkedIn, and I can see a lot of CSR activities being done by the team. And kudos to you guys for such an interesting and wonderful culture you have maintained at Scott Better. So thank you for sharing your experience. Now my next question is for Anjal. So we know that on April 2021, Scott Better celebrated its 100 years of business. And the very next year, and first of all, congratulations all of you, such a great achievement, 100 years of being into business. So the very next year on July 2022, Scott Better entered India. And what do you see the role India would play as Scott Better enters the next century or has entered the next century? What is the role of India?
So Aditya, as you mentioned, that India is one of the world's most populous countries, and it has a huge workforce and a resource base, as well as a customer base. So for us, it was that became one of the key things, and also we had to find we thought of this being a source of sustainable solutions for the growth and mobility market. Mm-hmm. So Scott Better has sustainability at the core of its being, and it was well placed to play a role in this coming to India. Okay. Most multinational companies that have set base in India is because of the vast pool of skilled talent and an expanding marketplace, as you mentioned. So for us, it was the right time kind of to be here. Mm-hmm. Then another point I would like to add is in the last decade, India has also emerged as a global leader with focus on transparency and ease of doing business to drive their own Make in India strategy. Mm-hmm. So many of our core values are in that way aligned to the vision of the leaders in India. And we believe that we will set an example at many levels, having a set base in India. Mm-hmm. We also believe that the most effective innovation-led organizations, are led by a deep understanding of the needs of the market and the customers that they serve. So this is made possible through an active ongoing dialogue on how those needs can be satisfied. So our presence here aims to do just that.
Okay.
And lastly, I would like to say that we aspire to be a technology leader in India, building a sustainable future, and to contribute to the specialty markets like the personal care and 3D printing as well, where we have recently diversified.
Okay, great to hear that. So now my next question is for Biju. Biju, like Scott Better acquired the commercial business of Satyen Polymers Private Limited to enter or make foray into the Indian market, right? So any specific reason Scott Better chose buy over build to enter India, and why Satyen Polymers? What makes them so special?
So our relationship with Satyen is not new. So we have been in business with Satyen for more than 10 years. So the founder of Satyen Polymers, his core values, his principles very much aligned with Scott Better's. So they have been very successful in terms of producing or toll manufacturing Scott Better's Christic gel coats for us. So the expanded partnership is essentially intended to see Scott Better Private Limited, which is assume responsibility for the direct sales sales and marketing of all our resins and gel coat products, while Satyan Polymers will manufacture for Scott Barter Private Limited. So it's just the alignment of goals, and a quicker entry into the Indian market.
Okay, thank you. Now the next question, it would be open for both of you, Biju and Anjal. Like, since you have entered last year in India, and it's been almost an year now, so can you elaborate how has been the experience for the past 1 year, and can you elaborate the operations and location and capacity of the unit, and what targets you have kept in your mind?
Sure. If it's okay, Anjal, I will go first on this one. So the Indian operations is located in Silvassa, which is just north of Mumbai. It has got a current annual capacity of about 15,000 tons of resins and gel coats. The operations in the near future will be focused on manufacturing high technology products such as gel coats and wine lester resins. Now, we have a bigger objective in India. So as a global player, we recognize the significant opportunity that India brings in. And we are very committed to bringing industry-leading composite products and adhesive technology to the Indian customers. So our company is very much aligned in terms of investing into India, and we anticipate an investment of 200 crores Indian rupees over the next 5 years into India, and expect to generate at least 150 skilled manufacturing jobs in India. So in addition to its Make in India strategy, Scott Barter will continue to provide local technical support services and will transfer technology of its specialty products from the other big sites of Scott Barter, that is in UK and Dubai manufacturing sites. Anjal, if you want to answer the one in terms of our entry.
What I would like
India.
to add here is, as expected, we've had a good 12 months, successful 12 months, we'll say. So our Make in India strategy has been the key focus here, and we have been able to hit ground running with the locally produced grades of Satyan, as well as the new Christic grades that we are rapidly scaling up and delivering here. So Scott Barter's prime range, the Christic range of products, has been very well received by the Indian market, which we have been promoting, and we have been introducing these products to our customers through customer engagement. So I'll just quickly go through the names of the products that we are focusing on. So we have Cresta Mold, which is our match tooling systems, which we have introduced to many of our customers because it's offering an excellent tool with good durability. Then our second product is the Cresta Fire range of products, which is the FST FST brand. FST range of products are within this brand, and they are basically for the land transport and the rail application, meeting the most stringent fire specs that is now all over Europe and also being introduced in India. Then our very special VA technology, which is the vinyl ester technology, is also being well received in the Indian market, especially for the FRP rebar applications, which is a growing market. It's a niche market as of now, but it's growing heavily. So we find that there is a lot of scope here, and we have a very special resin by the name of Crestapol, which is a urethane acrylate based resin technology, tough material able to capture markets which are again niche for optic fiber rods or high fire rated systems for safety of oil and gas platforms. So I would just like to bring to your attention and emphasize here that these materials will also generate export revenue for India, as there's a huge demand for many of these key applications, and most of this and the manufacturers, because they can meet the high spec that is being demanded for these materials that only Scott Barter can offer. These products are also exported to countries in Southeast Asia, Europe, and US. So basically, we're generating revenue for India in terms of the export. And another important, or maybe another thing that I'd just like to highlight, since we've come to India, we've also got our resins qualified and validated by the UL authority, which is especially I would like to mention the UL 1316, which is a very, very difficult specification to be met for underground fuel tanks. So we have 2-3 months ago we've got that accreditation, and we have the product that we can offer to the market for immediate use.
Okay, great. So a lot of offerings in your bucket now.
So basically, we've invested as Biju was saying, and we are here to stay. And our whole product range is available for all our Indian customers, and our engagement is on a very close, intimate basis with our customers.
Okay, great. So my next question is to Anjal only. Like, can you elaborate the global product offerings of Scott Bader with focus on composites market only?
So for composites, as I just mentioned, we have our Crestafire, which is the fire, which is the product that offers all the fire retardant materials. Since fire safety has become quite big in India, and the focus is there. So this range of products, it includes gel coats, resins, and intumescent barrier coats, which help the customers to meet the most stringent fire standards, and it's equivalent to say the safety requirements in Europe, USA. So we meet those standards, and we're bringing the technology and the knowledge here for our Indian customer base. Then we have the Cresta mold, which is the match tooling system. So we have the full range for the customers to be able to make the right quality tool, which would last them for a very long time. So the durability and the finish of the tool is something which is very critical for the composite market. And this material basically helps them to get there easily. Cresta Bond is another of our products, which is it's methacrylate technology for structural adhesives for all the assembly applications that are there for the composite market. So we have a range of materials here which help in different assembly times, and it is a very high strength product, easy to use, curing at ambient temperature.
Okay.
Then going on for the others, I can elaborate. Crestapol, as I just mentioned, that's the urethane acrylate technology, which is useful for the for pultrusion process, mainly for the optic fiber and high FST requirements. And Crystic Gel Coats has been our product since last 70 years, where we are offering a durable and reliable finish in a range of colors. So this is one of our premium materials, which gives the final look and the finish aesthetics to the composite. Okay, so and we're sure of its performance. So it really keeps the product in the condition that it should be for a very, very long time. And Crystic Resins also has been there for many years. So we have a lot of data, which unrivaled data, which is available on the performance of this product. And we have a range that is available from the basic ortho resins to the high-end vinyl ester resins.
Okay.
So all this information can be found on our website, and anybody who's interested can just go there. We are also showcasing case studies there, which should prove the performance of our products. And this helps to bring confidence within our customers that the performance that we are talking about has been proven because of the different areas that it has been used.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Anjal, for throwing lights into the offerings. So before I jump into the next question, I would like to ask the audience who is watching the session. So if you have any question, so please do put your queries or questions about the Indian composites market in the comment section. We will be happy to address them during the mid course of the session or at the end of the session. So please do comment and share maximum. So my next question is, like you talked about, Anjal, you talked about the fire retardant materials and gel coats and all that. So during the next short-term time span, is there any specific application targets for Scott Better? Like if you talk about pultruded products, then gratings or like some products like that. Any
Yeah, so
specific
basically,
application?
So we are focused on sectors like wind, which is and rail, and
Okay.
also automotive and land transport. So we are focused. We have products for each of these sectors. So we are focused on those sectors. For wind, for example, we are already qualified by many of the OEMs who are based in Europe, and they are meeting their specs. So the products are already tested and qualified for all their specs. So it's an easy offering for us in India. So the OEMs basically just advise their subcontractors to start using our materials, and the individual specs are already met for strength, durability, etc. Then in the rail sector, as it's a big growing market. With ICF coming up with the Vande Bharat trains, which is the high-speed trains. So here now the spec has totally changed to be aligned to the fire safety specs of Europe. So that is the EN4555 spec, and which has a hazard rate level of HL2 and HL3, the most difficult fire rating to be met. So because we were already in Europe, we already have tested and tried products, and we had invested in R&D in this sector. So we brought that product to our customers, and we started offering it to them immediately, and we are engaging with our customers. So this is another sector that we are very focused on, as we have already the right portfolio to offer to our customers. Then other key sectors are also there. Maybe Biju can speak a bit about them.
Yeah. So Anjal, you have covered some of the products, essentially, used in this high-end application, but we are focused on certain market sectors in India, which are fast-growing market sector. And the first one that comes into mind is automotive and land transport. I think Anjal covered the rail aspect very well. So our range of structural adhesives, resins, and gel coats are ideal for all such specialist vehicle body construction. So the other one which we are quite keen to develop is the marine industry, because Scott Bader are the leaders in marine resins, gel coats, barrier coats, adhesive technology world over. So as we have pioneered the use of fiber reinforced plastic in marine industry for 70 years, and we work very closely with the customers to improve the surface finish, reduce the cost of production. So it's not always about price of the products. It's about the overall cost that the customer delivers their product. So we work very closely with third-party approval bodies like the Lloyd's, RENA, and DNV in this respect, specifically for marine application. Chemical containment is a huge market for us. India is a case in study, and also in the Middle East, it's a huge market. Again, developed for the last 70 years. So we have corrosion data for each of the Scott Bader products, specifically in contact with acids and alkalis and fuel and food stuff. Typically, our crystic wine esters and isophthalic resins are offered in this market. The more recent, application that we see in India will gain a lot of interest is to refurbish old, linings or the pipes. So we have developed, a more environmental friendly, styrene free wine ester products, which are used for pipe relining application, which is also now popularly called cure in place pipe markets. Building and construction is quite a big industry in the Middle East, and it's quite a mature industry in Europe. So we have for the rail, we do have 5 standards which we have met to meet the local civil defense requirement for building and construction application. The same, I'm sure that there will be huge opportunity in India as well. In wind energy, Scott Bader were the first organization to introduce zero styrene gel coats. And it also offers products like resins and adhesives for wind turbine companies. And the comprehensive range of products include the products which are used for manufacturing wind blade itself, and it's also used for manufacturing other components like the nacelles and spinners. Solar PV, again, is quite an exciting one for us. So we have special adhesives which can be used, focused on sustainability. Scott Barter's Crest-Bond structural adhesives have been developed to provide market-leading strength for bonding solar panels. So solar panels are usually bonded on the roof, and our Crest-Bond structural adhesives can withstand wind loads 3 times higher than a typical typhoon or cyclone. The most recent one is the 3D printing. So we are quite excited about this market as well. So our brand name for the 3D printing, it's called Cresta Foam. So it's a typical range of 3D printing resins that are specifically formulated to work with UV cured LCD, DLP 3D printers that is open to third-party resins as well. And, again, as Anjal mentioned, a lot of these informations are available in our website. And also, we will be very happy to link with our participants through LinkedIn as well to cover this more elaboratively. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Biju, for such wonderful insights on the applications. Now, this quite actually aligns with the objective of this webinar, like which application industries India offers a lot of opportunities, which materials, how much will be the market size in future, what is the current market size. So everybody is quite interested to know what India as a whole holds for in terms of the opportunities it brings on the table to the composites, to the whole composites industry. So is it just the domestic market, or it is also for the export oriented growth markets? So to address these kind of questions, we have another question for Deepak. So let me ask Deepak, like, to throw some light on Indian composites market, its current market mix and future growth potentials. Like you said that your target, Scott Better's target segments are mainly automotive, transportation, rail, then wind energy. So it quite aligns with the views we also have in the Indian composites market. So over to you, Deepak. So just let us know what India holds for the composites industry.
Thank you, Aditya, for giving me a chance. Just a moment. So, as Biju and Anjal already mentioned that, like India does have huge potential for composite materials. And this is what, we have been noticing in the market. So the market is growing at a very good rate. And the best way to see is that, the different materials. So what we estimate and what we know that, the Indian market is around $1.15 billion in 2022, and it will lend close to $1.8 billion by 2028 with an average growth of 6.8%. And the best part is that, the market registered extraordinary growth in past 2 years after pandemic, and filling all the voids that being generated by COVID. So, and if you look at the market dynamics are very much different with material to material. Like if you look at the glass fiber, there are mainly 2 players. One is Onscon in India, another is Goa Glass. So they have a capacity of around 120 kiloton in India. The rest, all demand is met through import. And there's a huge price pressure on glass fiber side, particularly coming from China or Egypt. So there was anti-dumping duty earlier, but it has not been renewed after its expiration in October 2021. So still they are facing lots of challenge in terms of pricing. That's mainly coming from Chinese players. They are dumping materials at very low cost. Another dominant material is basically unsaturated polyester resin, and where we got really good insights from both of them from Scott Bader. So we estimate that the Indian demand is around 225 kiloton of UPR currently, and majority of them, around 50% of them, is basically ortho grade, and rest 25 to 30 kiloton is the other ones like ISO and vinyl is around 5 to 6, and remaining are being distributed between equally like PTA and PET and or epoxy acrylic. So there's a huge demand, and if you look at the number of companies, again, there are more than 70 companies in India operating that business. So there's a huge competition among them in terms of price, and even we noticed some price decline in this year, particularly after a rise in past 2 years. So if you look at the breakdown, we estimated the Indian market is around 572 kiloton in 2022, and the fiber is holding around 40% share, equivalent to 230 kiloton. And if you look at the resins, it's around 265 kiloton. That includes polyester, that includes epoxy, vinyl ester, and thermoplastics. And the rest is fillers and other materials. So if you look at the global market, and that gives one picture, that gives a fair distribution of thermoplastics and thermoset composites. But if you look at the Indian market, it's more over towards thermoset composites. Another interesting thing that we noticed, is that, there has been a gradual increase in terms of export. So some market, doing very good, and they started, exporting end products globally, and which actually giving a better room or better floor for Indian companies to procure or to sell lots of composites material in the country. And as I mentioned that, like glass fiber is heavily dominant, carbon fiber is very less. Majority of demand is still from glass fiber only. Carbon fiber is going some aerospace and automotive applications. In aerospace, there are a couple of players who are doing good, like there's a Tata, PASL, and HAL. They are the major users of carbon fiber per pig. And in terms of resin, polyester is most dominant, is 189 kiloton. That's only UPR going into composites. And the number that I shared, around 225 kiloton, that includes all UPR, including non-composites too. And 29 kiloton is around epoxy. Vinyl ester is very less, 5 kiloton, and others that include acrylic, that include all other types of thermosets and thermoplastics, altogether holding around 15% share, equivalent to 42 kiloton. Now, in terms of industry, which is the most important thing, I think, is that, like the ground transportation that includes automotive and rail. Rail, as Anjal already mentioned that there's a huge discussion over Vande Mataram and huge plan of government to roll out Vande Mataram trains.
Vande Bharat Express.
Vande Bharat Express in coming time. And I think the next year target is around 67 rail cars, and around 800 rail cars they are planning to propose in coming years. So, and if you look at the rail coach factories, there are 3 factories. One is Kapurthala RCF, an integral coach factory Chennai, and another is modern coach factory that is in, I think, Raebareli. So right. All these 3, are creating a huge demand of composite materials, mainly driven through RTM or hand layoff process. So there's a good demand coming from there. Another interesting thing that we noticed is that, Alstom, which acquired Bombardier, and some Indian companies who are developing metro rail cars, and now they're exporting to global market. I think they exported to Canada or Australia. So there's a good demand altogether. This is what I was talking about. There's a good demand of export from India. And building and construction economy is growing. There has been a huge construction activities across all level, and which is giving a good rise of composite material in building and construction. And renewable energy, that's one is really being noticeable, is that, if you look at the past 3 years trend, India was installing around 1,500 to 1,900 megawatt worth of wind turbines. But if you look at the next 3 years, they are planning to install close to 3,000 to 5,000 megawatt range. So the market is just got doubled in next 2 or 3 years. So, and all the companies that are being actively participating in wind energy, they are going to experience a huge growth in terms of revenue and demand. Aerospace is still a very small market. I think lots of effort done on defense side. Particularly on commercial side, is still a lot focus and efforts are required, but defense definitely is doing good. So TL already doing a lot with different companies, started making lots of key components in India. And telecom, 5G is coming, so there's a huge demand we're expecting from that end. So altogether, if you look at that, India is expecting to have a growth of around 5.7% in next 5 years. And most of the end use industries will perform really good in coming time. So transportation, construction, all are likely to have a good growth in coming time. So what I would say that, it's, if you look at the both traditional glass composites and and advanced carbon composites, we are expecting huge growth in Indian market and in even all across industries. So it's a really good, or you can call it bright outlook for Indian market in next 5 or 10 years down the line. So if that's more about that on Indian market. So we expect a huge growth in coming time.
Great. So can you, Deepak, are you done sharing your insights?
Yes.
Okay. So you have minimized your, stop sharing your screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Deepak, for such wonderful and deep dive insights on the opportunities India has for the composite materials, and specific numbers you shared were quite informative. So thank you. So we have, before moving on to the last 2-3 questions which we have left for the webinar, we have questions in the comment section. The first question in the comment section is from Mr. Jitendra Trivedi. So he has asked you, Biju, like polyester versus phenolics in mass transport application. What are your views, and what is the market size? Maybe you can take it, Biju.
Yes, so the market size, I think Deepak very well summarized it. So it's the fastest growing market for us as well. So phenolics. I mean, Anjal has worked hands-on with some of the composite products, but phenolic is one of the most difficult products to handle because of the hazardous nature of the catalyst which is used with phenolic. But the phenolic composites meet very high levels of fire standards. Okay, so what we have done is that we have done 2 things. There are 2 strategies that we have followed. So we have followed the strategy of developing a urethane acrylate chemistry, which can compete. Of course, it can compete well with phenolics in terms of meeting some of the highest level of fire standards. So the product name is called Crestapol, and then coupled with the intumescent technology of Crestafire range of products, we are able to meet or compete with phenolic in terms of meeting some of the stringent fire standards, which I think Anjal earlier referred to, the EN 45545, R1, HL2, and HL3. Without the complication of polluting the environment or ease of handling, is much better with these products. So that way we are able to achieve the fire standards, and also make products which are much more user friendly in terms of application purpose as well. So Anjal, do you have
I would
anything?
like to just add here, Aditya, here with phenolics, the surface finish that you get is not so good. In fact, it needs a lot of work to be done to get it to an acceptable surface finish, and has to be painted essentially. Whereas with the UPR systems that we are offering, we can offer a gel coat finish. ICF, for example, is looking for gel coat finish only for all its interiors. So gel coat in that way is superior because it's applied at a higher thickness, as well as so it's more durable. Abrasion has better abrasion resistant qualities as well. And phenolics, as Biju rightly mentioned, it's extremely difficult to process. It needs a high level of post curing, so energy intensive, and it has hazardous elements in it. So in Europe and in many places, they have actually decided not to use phenolics at all, although it is giving far superior fire properties. So many countries, like for example, France, Alstom as an OEM, does not encourage use of phenolics at all, and they want alternate technologies that we have.
So Aditya, so that's and Jitendra, that was one of the mechanisms to address this issue using the Crestafire and the Crestapol range of products. The other one is quite exciting for us, and Anjal is directly involved in this project as well. So we are looking at a 100% bio-derived PFA resin, polyfurfural alcohol-based resin. So that process is similar to a phenolic and has got all the properties, the fire performance properties of phenolic, but it is derived from a 100% bio-based source. So this would be for sure, once we set the application for this product, so this would be a second alternative to the existing technologies going forward.
Okay, great. So summing it up, I can say that polyester is having hands up on the transportation segment, I think. Deepak, do you want to add what between polyester and phenolics is preferred in mass transportation? Do you have some numbers, ballpark estimates, without sharing the screen? Like you can just throw the numbers.
Yes, Aditya. So Biju is absolutely correct. So there has been lots of interest from tier players to move from phenolic because of the REACH regulations and other ones. So they really want to switch from phenolic to alternatives which are offering them equivalent FST properties. At the same time, it gives a benefit of lower cost too. So in terms of interest, we see lots of interest from industry players.
Okay, we have another question. Actually, same type of questions with from two persons, two gentlemen. So next question from Jitendra is about the recycling of composites and Scott Bader's idea on the product offerings. One more gentleman has asked the same, like, could you throw some light on the with recycling aspects? The question, the person who has asked is Mr. Satish Kumar Selvarayan. So can you just throw some light on the recycling of composites from Scott Bader's perspective?
So Anjal, if you're okay, I can try and answer those. So I think it's a great question because, we will speak about some of the challenges in the Indian market, but then composite has got some global challenges as well, So one of the challenges globally that we have an action which is required on an urgent basis is to produce as an industry a sustainable composite. So increasing the market penetration of composite will reduce, of course, we all know that it will reduce the environmental impact through weight reduction and durability. So that way we are at a very good starting point compared to other competitive materials like steel and other building materials. But there will be a strong need to incorporate what we call it as a circular economy principle alongside the rapid development of composite. So there is a urgent need for research to develop cost-effective or bio-based raw materials to further reduce environmental impact and also to decouple prices from oil. So if you see most of the products, composite resins and, are derived from oil. So there will be more pressure in terms of decoupling from that source. And then life cycle analysis needs to be more widely understood and more consistently applied. So there is an ongoing need to develop new markets for what we call as recyclate. from end of life and process waste. So in terms of solution, if you talk about Scott Barder, I can talk about Scott Barder. We have invested £1 million in a joint venture called Polymer Memetics, and it's a joint venture with the University of Liverpool, with 6 PhD polymer chemists working under the guidance of our group sustainability manager. His name is Stephen Brown, and they're focused on developing novel polymer chemistry platform that can be recycled. So it is chemical building blocks which can be highly scalable. So you can scale it up and then transforms them into high performance polymeric products, and the potential to engineer its degradability. So that's one of the approaches. But then there are other aspects like developing capability in life cycle assessment and cost to show the benefits. And finally, reducing the waste. In composite manufacturing process, there are many initiatives that can be taken to reduce the waste, to develop energy efficient manufacturing technologies. So these all contribute towards the, what we call as recyclability in the composites.
Okay, great.
So Anjal, did I miss something? Do you want to add something, Anjal?
No, I think you covered it fully. So there's work in progress. Basically, we're just trying to tell you that there's work in progress. This is a topic that has bothered the composite industry for a long time, and we are being part of that group to further it so that it gives a fruitful outcome.
Okay.
So that was the question from Jitendra. I think there was a second question as well. Maybe I missed that one, or
yeah, that was the question from 2 persons. So we have addressed. We will take. We have a couple of questions more in the comment section, so we will take them up at the end of the seminar after 2-3 questions.
All right.
So, so my next question is to you, Biju. Recently, Government of India has been spending a handsome amount on the defense sector, and actually it has been among the top 3-4 spenders in defense budget after US and China. Then India's defense budget is third highest, just as I said. So how do you look defense as an opportunity? Are you serving the defense industry?
So I think this will be a quick answer from me. So yeah. I have to mention that our founder, he was determined not to supply or support the construction of offensive weapons for war. And his principle was very aligned with Mahatma Gandhi's principle, and it strikes a chord with India at the moment. So we do supply products for defensive military markets like the patrol boats or the minesweepers. So those are the limited number of products that we offer specifically for the defensive military markets.
Wow, that quite aligns with the culture you're having at Scott Barder. Like, it's for the common man. Good for the good of the common man. Great to know about that. So my next question is for Deepak. Deepak, we have been traveling to JEC World Show every year, and this year was quite different as compared to previous years. Like, we had a lot of Indian companies, and the presence was unprecedented. Like, we saw quite a number of Indian companies showing interest in manufacturing composite parts and supplying raw materials. So, and we have actually helped some of the companies in their market research activities about the global composites industry. Where are the opportunities? Which markets should be targeted? So, Deepak, can you tell us a little about which sectors the interest was, and how is the competition for material suppliers in India? A short brief about that.
So you're absolutely correct. So this time in JEC, we witnessed a large number of Indian companies, exhibiting, displaying their products, and I think at majority of them are at material level, polyester, and some tier players. So we see a lot of growth for both advanced composites and glass composites. So as I mentioned, that Indian market is heavily dominated by glass composites, and the penetration has been increasing. I just give you one example, that will give you a very clear idea, what could be the growth. If you look at the per capita consumption of composites in India is 0.4 kg, merely 0.4 kg is 1 pound. And if you look at the US, it's around 11 kg, more than 11 kg. So look at the growth that India possesses in coming time. So the economy is growing, every sector is growing very fast, and you need materials to meet that demand. So I think there's a good time, particularly on construction and ground transportation, rail, as well as automotive. So these two markets are going to create huge demand for raw material suppliers in India. And for advanced composites, again, there has been lots of discussion. So if you look at the interest of all Indian big conglomerates, they have been showing interest on carbon fiber composites. So they want to develop an ecosystem for carbon composites within India. So they have been working a lot. So I think Reliance, they bought some assets of Camrock, and they have been putting efforts to develop carbon fiber ecosystem in India. So they have certain plans for that. So the point is that, I think ground transportation and building construction will remain the major contributors, and all companies must witness lots of growth in these two industries. But other industries will again contribute much to the Indian composite material suppliers in coming time.
Great insights. Like, we are just less than half of what US has in terms of penetration of the composite materials. So there exists a lot of white space opportunity in the Indian market. Recently also we have a good news that the Elon Musk meeting Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi about setting up something for Tesla, so in India, and they have already decided, I think, Pune as the office space, I think in Viman Nagar. So that's quite an interesting news. Like, the future is electric, and electric vehicles are coming up big time. So a lot of opportunities, companies like Tesla coming to India will create more opportunities in the EV sector as well. So, okay, great. So next question is for Anjal. Since polyester is one of the key offerings, and the business of polyester remains extremely price sensitive. So how do you differentiate from the other companies present in India, and what makes Corbetter different?
So we are bringing in technology that is superior, so customer is gaining in the long run. That's been our basic principle, let's say. We are offering solutions, and we are offering technical support throughout to them. So there's a lot of hand holding that goes to the customer. And we also using our global presence and network for developing long-term partnerships. Okay, so these are the prime aspects that we focus on. And we also differentiate in terms of product, as Deepak mentioned, that this carbon fiber market is there, is a niche market in India. We have products. Normally, carbon fiber couples with epoxy, and we have urethane acrylic technology, which is compatible to carbon fiber. So we have a unique solution that we're offering, which is not so energy. Doesn't need so much energy to cure. Epoxies normally need a lot of post curing. So we are offering something which is different and benefiting our customer. Then we are also pretty proud of the fact that we are offering some of the best products and processing specialists in the industry we are working in. So we have all the talent, experience, and knowledge to deliver value to our customers. So we, as I mentioned, we constantly give them technical advice, problem solving, and we actively listen to their problems. As examples, we are concentrating on technical solutions for engineering problems, or through offering tough resins, structural adhesives, and 3D printing. Like, I have customers who call me sometimes asking for support for one of our competitors, let's say. So basically, they are asking troubleshooting support for one of our competitors. So that tells you that the technical support that we are offering is so close to the customer that they even ask us support for our competitors' products.
Great.
And finally, our guiding principles differentiate us: our safety culture, our ethics, our responsible innovation, and so this automatically attracts like-minded business partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
So in short, globalized experience along with customized and localized product offering is what you guys bring into the platter for the Indian composites market.
Right.
Great to listen to that. So now my last two questions. The first one is for Biju. Now Biju, can you tell us about the short-term and long-term plans of Scott Weather for Indian unit? Are there any plans of expanding the capacity in near-term future? How do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I briefly covered this in previously, but the short-term plan is to ensure that we manufacture high-value products. High-value products which high value for our customers. Essentially, the wine lesters, the gel coats, the high-value polyester resin technology, and the long-term plan. As I said, we anticipate investing 200 crores in the Indian market for the next 5 years, and also expect to generate a lot of skilled manufacturing jobs in India. Mm-hmm. So long term is also we align with India's strategy, Make in India. So we make products in India for the Indian market, and also help our customers in India to export their products, high quality products, the Make in India products globally. So that's the vision of our leadership team, and that is keen to expand to meet the high demand sectors, which we have already mentioned: rail, corrosion, wind, etc.
Great.
So just one more point: the merger and acquisition will be in top priority of our list. So we'll continue to invest in India. So there will be a lot of acquisitions, there will be a lot of mergers. So that's the plan, long-term plan.
So that's where we can help you, Biju. So okay. So in short, I can say that you plan to invest something around $30 million in the next 5 years. That's equivalent to 200 crores. Great.
That's correct.
Okay. So my last question is for Anjal or Biju, whosoever wants to answer. As a composite material supplier, what are the challenges in the Indian market as compared to the other matured markets? Just like Deepak said, that in the US, it's double the penetration in US as compared to India. So what do you think? What are the challenges in the Indian market for composites?
Anjal, you want to go first? I think you're on mute.
Yeah. I'll take that, and then Biju can finish. So what I think is the composite market is quite unstructured in India. So basically, it seems as the basic technology like hand lamination is very simple and low investment. So there are a lot of players who are they're trying their hand out at manufacturing over a wide range of products and processes. However, in actual, to get the product right, using the right material alongside correct processing, it is key. There's also operational efficiency and mechanization that helps the manufacturer to get the right quality at the right cost. So within the same market, we see that there are customers that are quality and efficiency driven, and others that are price driven. So that's one of the challenges, right? For the customer to understand that the quality that he's offering has to be right. Sometimes that becomes critical, and sometimes it's difficult because there are so many competitors around him who are cutting corners, let's say. Then another thing I said, focus on safety. It needs improvement. We are a very safety conscious organization, but in the industry we find that this is not given focus on. So there's one part of safety on the product safety, where the fire spec and other safety of the product is given importance. There's also safety of manufacturing that needs improvement. Mm-hmm. Adaptation to newer technologies is much slower. So we're still stuck at most hand lamination and the typical easy to manufacture processes, while the world has gone ahead and gone for infusion processes, silicon bagging. So these processes, which are closed mold technologies, are much ahead. And there are then lack of training institutes in India. So basically, they pick up the workforce is not really trained to deliver to the right quality. So that needs maybe a more exposure and some policies that it becomes a kind of a small degree that the molder gets, which helps him to use the product correctly. And also, there are very few internationally approved labs for composite testing. So if there is a need for validation, it's not through the right international level. There are very few labs which are really offering that service. Overall, we are here to help the customers to move in the right direction. Then I read some challenges that ISERP has also mentioned in their composite show, which was similar. Recycling of composites is one of the challenges, which we said we are looking into. Then an overall lack of awareness in the composite industry is there, and there is absence of some concrete regulatory framework bodies which showcase the product.
Okay.
So I think Biju can add a few more.
Yeah. So I would like to, Anjal, you have covered it well. So the challenges that I would like to cover is the challenges that we have on this material itself, composite as a material. So we spoke about the recyclability, the sustainability already, but there are other global challenges as well. Like, for example, when you go into building and construction, which we recognize as quite an important industry in India, there is the regulation codes and standards. One of the major inhibitors to the uptake of composite in new sectors is that regulations, codes, and standards are often inappropriate for composite. So it is very, very clear for, say, for example, for steel or concrete and other building material, but for composite, it's not very clear. And this is because they are both, explicitly and implicitly based on, named materials such as steel, and do not permit consideration for composite applications, despite the high strength and benefits this material brings in many cases. But there are solutions as well. So the big players in steel have now recognized that it is not sustainable for them, in terms of profitability year to year, using steel as a solution. So they have recognized that, having composite products, for example, fiberglass rebar in their, product portfolio actually helps them with the profitability as well. So there's an increasing trend, for example, to move away from steel rebars to fiberglass rebars. But this is a work in progress, I would say.
So giving another example is the ACMA body, which is the American Composite Manufacturers Association, works closely with their government to make sure that composites is a recognized material, and it is now available as a material in the International Building Code itself. So in India, that work is still to be done. So if we have the right codes and we have the right specifications, it will also help industry, both the manufacturer as well as the suppliers, to be able to reach to that level that globally it has already been met. And then when the specs are right, then it raises the bar kind of. So the people who have invested in R&D and companies who are really focused on growing this industry will be the primary people who will be there to stay.
Okay. So in short, like the lot of structural changes need to be done to make India like a preferred destination for the composites industry, right? If the end user industry or demand from the end user industry increases, so there has to be the parallel talent pool which should be available to cater to that demand in terms of the training labs or the institutes offering the courses in composite materials. So every like a coordinated effort of different associations, industries, investments in training, development, as well as the part fabricators investing in the part fabrication units. So everything is needed to make India a favored destination. Basically, this is in short your point of view. Okay.
Right.
So we have, as I before closing the webinar, we have 2 more questions left to answer. So let me check the comment section. Now we have a question from Satish, Dr. Satish Kumar Selvarayan. He asks, like, could you also throw some light on the rebar applications and with recycling aspects included?
Would you like
so I can take that one.
Yes.
So because it's quite close to what we have done in the last 5 years. So to establish Wine Leicester as a solution for rebar actually took us 5 years of thorough research and development and corrosion performance tests, which were done in collaboration with Owens Corning. So the 5-year test that we did on the rebar using Wine Leicester technologies, Cristic VE671 is the product for this application, showed that the corrosion performance and the strength, the specific strength of rebars produced using high glass content Wine Leicester is actually superior than the steel rebars, with the other benefits including that composite inherently are corrosion resistant. So it directly helps in terms of the quality of the building and building projects where this is used. The other thing related to the carbon footprint changing from steel to composite rebar is that the transportation and the assembly of these products are much easier compared to steel. So the wider question about sustainability still remains. So we would still need to look at manufacturing efficiencies to reduce the fiberglass waste as one of the methods to reduce the carbon footprint, to reduce the impact on the carbon footprint, coupled with use of bio-based raw materials would help in our long-term goal of sustainable initiatives for recyclability. So that's a small couple of points from me. Anjal, unless you want to add something to it.
That's it.
Okay. So the last question from the comment section is like from Mr. Dayal Mehta. He asks, like, for Indian Railways, which are the top 3 or 5 composite products being used in new generation coaches like Vande Bharat? So top 3 or 5 composite products which are used in Vande Bharat. So
that is based on a Crestifier range of products. So we have the Crestifier gel coat, which is called Cristic 76PA, which gives the aesthetics and the durability. So it maintains the gloss and gives excellent osmotic resistance for the lifetime of the product. Then the product that is backed with is basically based on an intumescent barrier coat, which is by the name GCS 1001 or 1005, depending on if you have to get to HL2 or HL3. That has to be applied on top of that gel coat to give it the fire resistance that the HL3 or HL2 norm needs. And finally, we have resins, which are filled resins. Depending on the process that you would like to use, we have a product called Crestifier P1 3001 or P2 2001, which is vinyl ester based and suitable for infusion process. Then this is one set of technology. We also have the urethane acrylate based technology, which is the Crestapol 1212, which has to be highly filled, and then it meets the high HL2 and HL3 requirements. It can be processed by pultrusion or by hand lamination, vacuum bagging, So we have means of processing it in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, when we came into the India market, so this was the immediate challenge that we had to offer for Vande Bharat project, a gel coat only finish, a gel coat finish. So usually in Europe, they use painting technology. So they make the fiberglass parts meeting the fire standard and then they paint over. But that's an additional operation. So we cut on one operation by providing an in-mold gel coat solution, which can meet the R1, HL2 and HL3 standards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I think these questions are exhausted now. No. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Great. There was some internet glitch at my end for some time. Okay. So that were all the questions in the comment section. Now we are done with the webinar now. And I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to the team Scott Bader, Biju and Anjal for joining us, and also to Deepak, my colleague, to join me in this quite insightful webinar on the Indian composites industry. So thank you, audience, for watching us live. This video will be available on our LinkedIn page after this webinar comes to an end. And for any queries regarding to the product offering from Scott Bader, you can directly connect with Biju and Anjal. And for any requirements on market research related to composites and allied industries globally, please, you can reach out to me or Deepak or anyone from Stratview Research. So please do share it maximum among your group and in your profile. Do like and do follow our page, Stratview Research, as well as Scott Bader, for interesting webinars and interesting insights on the composites and the relevant products in the composites industry. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.